And we're going to be starting this first game between UMBC and Randolph College. We already played games 2 and 3, UMBC taking both of those games, so I'll be uploading these in reverse order and numbering them oddly. So we do have Epic Shinra from Randolph College, going to be playing as the Protoss player. His opponent is going to be Zinger XPN getting his home race. The Zerg playing for UMBC is going to be the Teal Zerg player. This is MLG dual site, has plenty of expansions available. We're going to travel from Zinger XPN's base down to the natural expansion where he will take that. We've also got 2 entrances to the natural expansion, also headed towards this third base, and a sneaky gold base up at the top. It does have a rich Vespian gas geyser. Returns, I believe, 7 at a time, if I'm not mistaken. There's another 4th or 5th base over here, closer to the center, harder to defend, also closer to your opponent's possible gold. Just depends on how you want to divide up this map for yourselves. Looks like Epic Shinra is going to be scouting across the field with his first probe. Drone is going to be headed out for some scouting as well, and it will cross paths with that probe, see exactly what his opponent's race is now, since the UMBC team did all choose random for this match against Randolph College. We also have the another drone headed out to see, not sure what it's trying to see, but there is an early pool on the way for Zinger XPN. 13 pool there out of Zinger XPN right now, and Epic Shinra now building a gateway up at the front. And Zinger XPN talking about the music that he is currently listening to. Assimilator coming up for Epic Shinra. All is normal except for that slightly early pull there. So we'll see what he decides to do with that. Maybe put on a little bit of pressure, or maybe try to bust the front. But there's no gas right now, so there's no Baneling bust on the way yet. And he does have enough now saved up for a hatchery. But he is going to get his queen and a couple of Zerglings first. Looks like 4 Zerglings on the way, as well as a drone. And Chronoboost going down on a Zealot to try to block this off as quickly as possible, not losing the game to an early run-in by Zerglings. More probes being produced for Epic Shinra right now. Zinger XPN, it looks like he's going to take his expansion now. Very safe timing to take the expansion. There it is coming up. Very nice there. Moving the drone all the way down there and then building a hatchery instead of selecting a drone here and then telling it to build the hatchery, locking up all 300 minerals at the same time. So I guess there may be a little bit of lag going on in the game. We'll see if that clears up. Their off-key singing is distracting me. Alright, so we're going to resume this game now. And the assimilator coming up, second assimilator up for Zinger XPN. That Zealot was out of position for just a second. Looks like these Zerglings will be able to run up here and maybe run by that Zealot. Looks like they do get into the main of Epic Shinra. That is not a good position to be in, especially now that Zinger XPN knows that Shinra is going for possibly a 1-gate expansion, especially with that 1 pylon on the low ground. Looks like they will be able to nibble away a couple of those Zerglings. I mean, probes, 1 did just go down, so those 2 Zerglings, even though they are definitely dead eventually, they are already worth it. 2 probes going down already. Zinger XPN's harass is successful. The Stalker does pop out, so that it will be able to chase down any additional Zerglings that may sneak by. And it looks like the hatchery now up for Zinger XPN will transfer over a couple of drones as well as the queen. She walks so slow off of creep, finally arriving at the hatchery. We'll soon have enough for another vomit or a creep tumor. Now spreading the creep around to make sure he has a good coverage. The Overlord now scooting over the possible 3rd base to check things out over there. A Zergling also 2 Zerglings controlling the 2 towers in the center. And a probe moving about the map to check out exactly if there's anything else going on. A single spine crawler on the way for Zinger XPN. making a couple additional drones right now, as well as the metabolic boost upgrade on the way. Epic Shinra now throwing up a couple of gateways at the one gateway up at the front and a robotics facility in the back. Oh, this is really funky here. He's got a forge and a robotics facility. Not too much in terms of units will be coming out anytime soon. This is going to be producing an observer, and this does give the opportunity for Zinger X-Man to actually bust this if he realizes what his opponent is doing. But he doesn't really have any overlord spotting over here to see that there's only 2 production facilities that can churn out units pretty quickly. There's this robotics facility that needs double chrono boost to get out a immortal reasonably quickly, but Zinger X-Man is taking the time to drone up very heavily. He's also got a Roach Warren on the way. Gonna continue mining the gas, also throwing up his lair. We've got the creep tumors now spreading to the low ground and across the map. A couple of Zerglings chilling at this expansion as well, and an observer is scooting across the field for Epic Shinra. We'll see how he responds to seeing this mix over here, or if he's going to be going Colossus. He is going Colossus already. He's got a couple of idle probes over here. He needs to get those guys back to mining, as well as get these 2 Vespine geysers if he wants to be able to get out Colossus in large numbers. We have Zinger XPN over here now spreading the creep. The creep tumors now moving across down to the 3rd base. That will allow him to take that 3rd base pretty quickly. All 3 gas being thrown down right now for Zinger XPN. I think this Roach Warren was just for safety, and this will allow him to get up a couple of roaches just in case. But right now he's going to be headed for some techie unit off of the lair, possibly a Spire. And there's a Spire coming up for Zinger XPN. And going only through 2 gateways right now for Epic Shinra. That's going to be so hard to hold off Mutalisks. And a War Prism is on the way. I think it will pick up a couple of these Zealots. Maybe a couple of the Sentries as well. Never mind. Looks like it will be used just to warp in units to try to do some damage to Zinger XPN. Who also has his 3rd base now on the way. War Prism speed is coming up for Epic Shinra, so he's definitely planning something for this War Prism, trying to do some massive harassment here. It will fly by, and I don't think it's actually queued up to fly by that Overlord, but if it does fly by that Overlord, I think Zinger XPN will be able to respond properly. Couple of Zerglings now going to be testing the front, so there's not too much there. If the force fields are not perfect, this could do a lot of damage. The Zerglings trying to get in there, do some hold position micro, forcing one force field out already. One Zergling now falling, and the War Prism now in position to do damage. Does Zinger XPN have anything in range of that? Looks like it will go into not yet phasing mode, but looks like it will pull back for just a moment. The gold base is also up for Zinger XPN. He has also, so he now is up to 4 bases. This is so quick. He's also got Mutalisks on the way, and Epic Shinra is going to have such a hard time holding this off. He's only got 2 Stalkers, 4 Sentries out in the field. He's trying to get additional gateways right now, gateways 3, 4, and 5, but it's going to be so hard to hold off all of these mutas, trying to harass both the front and the back. And the 3rd base now coming up. This is going to be so much ground for Epic Shinra to cover, and he's now running into the gold, the natural expansion here. A couple of those probes will go down, and the Zerglings now running into the main. That Zealot was misplaced in the in the warp in over there. It looks like a couple of probes will get picked off, and the assimilators also in danger. The rest of the Protoss army has now made their way in here. The Zerglings are picking away at that Nexus, trying to target fire. It looks like no hull damage was dealt, but the mutas are now out on the field. Let's take a look. There are 7 of them out on the field right now, and additional Mutalisks joining them, as well as tons of drones popping out, more gas being taken by Zinger XPN. He's going to be able to make so many Mutalisks and do so much damage with them because his opponent doesn't really have any anti-air. His gateways 3, 4, and 5 were only just now operational, and the gas now not mining, so he's going to be able to fly in here real soon. They are taking a break up over here at this possible 5th base. But now we'll be advancing down here to do some damage to the probe line. We'll see how Epic Shinra responds to this. He needs to warp in more stalkers. Looks like the Muta's doing tons of damage to the probe line over here. 23 workers killed by Zinger XPN already, and those Mutas will be able to back out of here almost completely unscathed. One of them into the red, but looks like the entire Protoss army being pulled back, and Zinger XPN also taking the gold. No, I thought that was a hatchery already finished, but it looks like it's just a bunch of overlords taking a dump at this location. The Zerglings also moving across the field, possibly to try to attack the third base, or maybe attack the front and the back at the same time. The Mutas are flying towards the main of Epic Shinra, and it looks like the Zerglings are running into the mineral line over here, killing off a couple of those probes, dancing by the Zerglings, and the Mutas inside Shinra's main, killing off the Nexus now. The Nexus will fall shortly. The Mutas are getting their +1 attack as well. Shinra does lose his main Nexus, as well as a couple of buildings will be falling as well. He's trying to get back into his main, but unfortunately no blink up for Epic Shinra. And over here, Zinger XPN is fully mining off of 4 bases. The gas is over here not even mining yet. As soon as he grabs this expansion, I don't know if Shinra is going to have anything to actually win against this, but he's going all in. He's going to be pushing across the field with all of his units right now. He does not want it to get his stalkers too far ahead, or else Zerglings could pick them off, or the Mutas could engage them individually, and Zinger XPN is going to be pulling all of his units back to deal with this. He's also got his Zerglings, a couple of drones being pulled back as well. Where are his units? That's interesting. 44 Zerglings in the production queue right now. Looks like Shinra is going to be able to take out at least 1 hatchery before this army gets completely obliterated by these Zerglings. There are, oh my gosh, there are 38 Banelings being morphed right now by Zinger XPN. Looks like he's actually going to sack both of these bases. More spine crawlers on the way for Zinger XPN. The spine crawlers are poking away at a decent pace right now, and the Banelings are complete, and more Zerglings on the way. Oh my goodness, there's so many spine crawlers coming up, and Zinger XPN is going for a counter. Oh, he's loading them up into those overlords. He's going to be able to do Baneling drops all over this Protoss army, and the drone's not mining. That's interesting by Zinger XPN, and all of the Banelings and the Zerglings now rushing in here. Banelings are getting walled off a little bit. GG out of Epic Shinra. Not too many units left over. This game goes to Zinger XPN, taking it for UMBC 3-0 against Randolph College. Of course, I am Aegis. Please check out my YouTube channel, youtube.com/AegisStarcraft2. Also, follow me on Twitter, twitter.com/AegisStarcraft. And I'll see you guys next week for more games from UMBC versus, I actually didn't look up what school it is, so I'm sorry, I don't know, but some other school, and also other Collegiate Star League games on my channel, plus some pro level games. So please subscribe, and this is Aegis signing off.